Do what, Frank?
Let's go.
Looks like we're on this.
Going wild, right?
Go on, we're already
Man,
late.
I feel like I'm preaching in church where you have to call all the people up and move to the front because they're in the back. Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order at 6:31. Justin Pagonic is absent. Doug? Somebody's gonna have to take notes because Doug's not here.
Whichever vice chair, I think, takes over.
No, I don't think you want me taking notes.
Jeremy's here, Kara's here, Ray, Keith, Ben. Oh, we have a quorum. That's the good news.
You can take notes, Craig?
I can
Is
take
that for
it.
Matt, what you guys, that way you guys
Thank you.
take highlights and what you're looking for?
Okay, I entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So move.
I'll second.
Jeremy made the motion and seconded by Keith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Approval of the minutes for April 13th, 2015.
I think Doug did a great job of taking these. I make a motion to accept them.
Second.
Motion made by Keith, second by Ray. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any nays? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, at this time, we're gonna go into our first public hearing. It's a request for a conditional use permit to construct a fence. Anyway, at 6:32, we'll open this up. We'll hear from Ben.
Okay, along the south property line, this is on the property of the office building that they built recently. They have a existing 6-foot fence that runs along that, most of that entire south line, and they want to replace it. And a portion of that replacement, not all of it, but a portion of it will be 8 feet in height. And so any fence over 6 feet in height requires a conditional use permit in that zoning district, which is B2. And so that's the reason for the hearing. It would be that first section going back from the street on the first drive there to the west. That would be 32 feet, or I'm sorry, 36 feet of it would be 8 feet in height, and then beyond that it would be 6 feet. This is just for that 8-foot section.
Okay. Anyone in the audience want to speak concerning this?
I have a question. Why the need for 2 feet extra?
I think that's a thought that's kind of went across all our minds here.
Because isn't this in a residential area?
No,
It's a
actually,
B2 business to.
next door to him is a logging company.
Oh,
He parks his logging trucks in that lot. And I'm thinking that's probably why they want it. And the 8-foot fence would block that vision from the building, because the building is on the first part of that lot.
Otherwise, you're going to see logs and that sticking up above.
Yeah.
And then just redid it. It's really
Yeah.
Very nice looking building.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, what is it, Matson or Matson Logging is right next door there. Yeah, they park their trucks there.
so another question I have is, if this one is allowed, does that mean that anyone that owns a business can extend a fence to the height that they request through a conditional use permit?
Condition, Ben can answer that.
Well, just to answer the first question first. From their application, they say that they're looking to create a privacy barrier with the adjoining lot. So in terms of why they want it, that is their statement. And then your second question was why? Could anybody have an 8-foot fence?
Yeah, in the business district.
If they apply for a conditional use permit and are granted it, that would be the process with the conditional use permit.
And does it apply also in residential areas the same then? Because I know it's a 6-foot height in residential areas.
6 foot high in the back lot. back.
Right, in the
front of your
backyard.
House back.
Right,
yeah.
in the backyard, yep.
I thought it was very on the sides and the front though.
In the front, it has to be lower because they consider that infringing on the site, you know, for backing out.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I suggest you can come in and get the information at other time, we can carry on with the public hearing and get resolved. We're in business, we're going to worry about residential currently.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, the applicant is not here apparently. And this is just dealing with privacy barrier. Anyone on the board here want to discuss this?
And are we, is still in the public hearing, or have we closed the public hearing?
Yes,
Because
we're
usually we
closing
hold
that.
discussion after.
Okay, we'll close it. There's no one else in the audience, I suppose.
All right,
At this time, 6:37, public hearing is closed.
I guess my comment would be if it's, I don't particularly, without anyone here explaining why, but since it is allowed by conditional use, I guess there'd be no reason not to approve it. I don't know why, if it's allowed under conditional use, I suppose we'd have to put conditions on it.
I think one of the conditions
Isn't
takes
that for
place.
variance or conditional use?
Conditional use.
Mr. Chair, you wouldn't have to put conditions on it if you didn't see reasons. They're planning to construct it out of, a material that's allowed, that kind of thing. You could certainly restrict material type or something like that, but, in the case of a fence like this, it's pretty well set out, what they can, what materials they can use, those kinds of things.
And they're not changing their setback, they're just changing the height, correct?
Yeah, it's not like an application that involves parking and, so many spots and screening of things that look bad or whatever it may be. So if you see a reason for a condition, you can certainly impose one, but you don't have to.
Okay, how far over is that from the road that comes in from the west? That's on the south side of the property. How wide is that property?
Along the south line?
No, it's a 60-foot lot or?
It's
I would
not,
guess something
isn't that
like-
probably maybe a 60?
Current lot that they're on, or the lot to the south?
The current lot they're on.
That's about 40.
40.
About 30 or something.
My question is, you raised that up 2 feet, and we're always discussing why we have these fence laws, is side of view, when you're coming in there, it's 40 feet from the street approaching there, the avenue, how's that gonna affect the view?
The building is only about,
There is a sidewalk there, so the fence would not go beyond the sidewalk.
I think we don't want restricted in buildings, I don't think it's going to go past the building.
And there's an old apartment building that is right on the sidewalk,
two lots
just
down.
one more lot down.
There's times that have been passed here where there's logs on the truck right next to the sidewalk.
On the south side.
Yeah.
When it says right here, the south side is currently vacant, so they just wanna,
Yeah, that's refers his trucks.
yeah.
It's a vacant lot, there's a
The
parking.
building's here. There's a lot, it's here.
Right.
So this is the street here, and there's the curb.
Anderson's is here.
That's across the street, so he's putting it here. And that's here.
So basically, they're putting the fence, so when you look out their window to the south, you don't see what's on the other side of it. But behind the building, when you get behind, then they're gonna drop it down to the original 6 feet.
Actually, that fence is already there.
6 foot mark.
I drive by here every day, so.
Yeah.
8 foot pole to set that from the sidewalk.
Oh my God, setbacks and all those things.
Well, they do, they ain't asking for a variance in setback, so.
Just wanted to,
Just a privacy fence.
Right.
Okay.
And in that particular location, I don't have a concern in regards to the site distance.
Okay.
It's far back at work. I'm assuming they stop at the property line as opposed to sidewalk, but I mean, the sidewalk's pretty close to the property line,
So,
Or we could set that as a condition that they have to stay on the property line.
do they have to fall to the other, of course they do, in front of that building facing
Number drive.
Lindbergh Drive, I think it only go up, what is it, 4 feet, isn't it?
They ain't putting the fence there at all.
There's gonna be no fence, they're gonna start right at the corner of their building.
And go back.
Start on their property line.
See, now that's getting a little bit higher yet. That's pushing it from 4 feet to 8 feet.
Well, they have a 6-foot fence now.
Is that legal?
Yeah. Well, I don't know when it was put up, I don't know if it was legal back then or something else, but it would be, you can do a 6-foot fence under the current ordinance.
Oh, in a B2?
Yep,
Okay.
it's right here, right in the bottom of the first page here.
But this is a side yard fence, the same up front. It's all on the other side, the rear, I guess.
Any other discussion?
I'll make a motion to accept this conditional use of an 8-foot fence for 36 feet.
Motion made, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion made by Keith, seconded by Ray. All those in favor?
Aye.
Time.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, we have one more public hearing. It's a request to consider the vacation of drainage and utility easement in the Sunrise Edition plat. I open this second public hearing at 6:43.
If you look in your packet, we do have an exhibit of what the applicant is proposing to have. Peterson's, currently they own lots 18, 19, and half of 20. They're looking to sell lot 18 and a little portion of it that has that shed located on it. So then when you have 19 and a half of 20, they want to be able to use that basically as a buildable lot. With the current drainage easement going through, kind of bisecting that lot, it makes it difficult to be able to build something in that location. So what they're asking tonight is to get approval to vacate that easement. They are willing to grant us an easement on the south 20 feet of their property. But tonight the public hearing would be to see if we can grant the vacation of that easement right there. That's bisecting their lot.
You say it's a drainage easement?
Correct.
The proposed granted area would provide the same drainage?
It would provide the same function and same drainage, yes.
It's a drainage and utility though, it says, right?
Drainage and utility
Drainage and
easement.
utility, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would provide both the same utility, obviously, to them?
Sure.
As drainage, okay.
There's currently no utilities within that area, but it would be drainage and utility.
Okay.
Okay, ask the question to the public. Does anyone want to speak in favor or against this project? Here's a quiet night.
Those are good.
Hearing none. Close the public hearing at 6:45. Now let's open up to discussion amongst the committee.
Seems like a pretty reasonable request.
Yeah.
We're just exchanging property and making a lot buildable. It can only be good things.
So the drainage easement, is it currently operating, working? Like if
There's no swale graded into there, no.
it's just flat land? So it's really, if there's a heavy downpour, it's really.
It's not going through there right now.
Okay. And the second place is how far from the current? Is this the lowest area in that whole property area?
That half of lot 20 is where the proposed area? Yes, that's the lower area.
Okay, so that would probably work in our advantage.
It would, yes. I mean, it's going there now, so to label it as a drainage easement would be beneficial.
So in other words, exchanging is actually beneficial to us.
It is my fear, leaving it as a drainage easement where it's currently at. If somebody decides to put a driveway in there and builds it up for whatever reason because they don't want to dip in it, now they're blocking the drainage and causing us issues. So by putting it at the property line, they're less likely to disturb that portion of it.
Because if they would build that up, it could affect the property around it, start holding water in there and, okay. Any other discussion?
I'll make a motion to grant the request to consider vacation of this drainage and utility easement.
Second.
Could we make a condition on that, that 20 feet would have to, if this goes through, that we do get that 20 feet because,
Yes.
okay.
Contingent upon receiving the
Contingent
proposed
on that.
drainage easement.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll add that to my,
Second.
that makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Contingent upon us receiving the proposed drainage.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.